Hello and welcome Power Platform Junkies. My name is Sianda, and in today's session we'll be walking you through how to build and design a modern and visually appealing homepage using Power Apps. Whether you're building internal apps or customer facing apps, great design really matters. And in this video I will show you how to bring that polish and professionalism to your Canvas apps. Without any waste of time, let's jump into Power Apps Studio. Right here I've created my Canvas app. I chose a tablet layout. Then first thing, when I create the app, I go ahead and save it. Then the next thing, ensure that you have a nice name that you like for your app. To change your name when you're already in here, you can click app, then open the properties section, and then you can edit your app name. You can put your app name that you like. Mine is called My Online Shop. Alright, now let's get started. So first things first, I want to set a few records before I can start designing my app. So these are the records that I want to set. My menus, we have home, product, sale, and contact. And then I also have these icons on the right side. So let's go ahead, click app on your app. Here, right here on tree view, click app, and then open the properties and choose formula. Then expand your formula bar. Here we're gonna write these records. Follow along. My menu equals, then we'll say square bracket, then we open parentheses, then in here we'll say title, and then we say home, then screen, we say app.active screen. Right, then we add the comma at the end. We copy this first, and then we paste it, and paste again, and paste again. Then next thing is product. We also have sale, and finally we have contact. Ensure you remove this last comma because it will give you an error if you don't do so. Alright, so last thing, you ensure that your formulas, you close it with a semicolon at the end. Alright, so basically what I've done, I've just defined these records, my menu. Alright, let's go back. Then now we are going to write our icons. I'll say my icons, say equal. I can here use either square bracket like how I did above, or I can just use a table. Either way, they both work. We close, then also ensure that you close at the end. Alright, then we're gonna open our parentheses. Right, first thing that we're gonna put here is going to be title, and then our title will say it's search, comma, and then screen, say app.active screen, then finally icon. Okay, we will put the link to the icon here in a moment, but let's first finish just writing this now. Okay, we put the comma. I copied the above, and then I'm gonna paste and put comma and paste again. So remember, there's three icons. So we have search, we're gonna call this login, and then we're gonna call this last one shop or cart, whatever you like to call it. Okay, this one is login, then this one is shop. Alright, now we need to find the links to these apps. So to find this link to this icon, so to find your nice beautiful icons, because in Power Apps we are very limited on icons. So if you go to insert here and then click icons, there are some nice icons here, but they are very limited. So to add our custom icons, we will go ahead, we will type iconify. Alright, just type iconify.design. Then you click icons. Right here you can get your own custom icons, any icons that you like, you'll find it over here. First one, we want search. Then you we have these options over here. Then I'm gonna choose the one I like this one. Then it's gonna give me this, and I'll copy it to clipboard. I'm basically copying the SVG of this icon. Once you copy it, now you need to open a notepad, paste it on your notepad. As you can notice here, you have double quotes in this SVG code here. So to remove that, we're using Notepad. We'll say Control H, and then basically we're saying replace the code to a single quote, and then you click replace all. Then copy everything, go back to Power Apps, and paste it over here, right? So the next one, we have login. Go back to Iconify. We look for login. We're gonna say I don't know, person. Yeah, I'm gonna take this first one. I think I like that one. I copy it again, go back to Notepad, paste it, Control H, we replace all. Okay, copy everything, go back to your Power Apps, paste it over here. Then lastly, we have a shop icon. We'll search shopping bag, and then I'll take the second one, I copy this SVG code, paste it on my notepad, and replace again. Alright, copy everything, then go back to my Power Apps and paste it. Alright, that looks like a lot, but trust me, it's just simple SVG code that I just pasted over here. Alright, now let's start designing our app. Let me undo what I've done here. The first thing I'm going to add, it's this top header over here with this name, 30% off store limited time. Notice there's the color of this one is shop now. So let's go back to screens. Let's close this formula. Here's my screen one. I'm gonna rename it to home. Alright, and then I'm gonna say insert. Okay, before we do that, here's the most important thing for your app to be responsive across different tablet layout. So we're gonna click settings, display, then scale to fit. Ensure this by default is going to be turned on. Ensure you turn it off. Yeah. So let's continue. So I'm going to go to insert. So there's multiple ways to insert your controls into your app. You can either click insert at the top here, or you can insert it on the right panel. Click insert, then you can find all the controls here. You can also search for them. So the first one I want to use is going to be an HTML text. Okay, once I've clicked it, open the properties of this control. Alright, there you go. And then I'm going to change the X position to 0 and the Y position to 0. I'm going to change the width to parent dot width. Alright, I'm going to change my height to 30, and then I'm going to change the background to black. I'll change the font color to white, and then okay, you see, okay, let's change the font size to 11, then the font to little. Then let's align this font to the middle. Let me change this black to a little bit transparent black. Okay, I like this black. I don't like that strong black. So, okay, now you go back to the tree view, and then you open, okay, sorry, on the right, just open the HTML text, expand the formula bar. We're gonna delete what's here. Then we're going to type our own. this is what we want to type in. 30% off store-wide limited. Okay, all right, 30% store-wide limited, 30% store-wide, okay, limited time, and then say shop now. Okay, so you can see here's my text over there. Now the next thing I want to change, I want to center it. To center it, you just say open this text and say center, just like that, and if you check, it's centered. Then now we need to change the shop now to a yellow and orange color. We're gonna say open this text and say font color equals orange, then close this text and say font. Okay, there you go. If I run my app, you see, let me change to canvas size. There you go, looks nice to me. Now the next thing is we have to add this, okay, this menu at the top. So let's go back. So to add a menu, we are going to use components. We are going to use components because you can reuse them across different screens in your app. If you're gonna build this menu in one screen, that means you're gonna have to copy it. If you have a product screen, you have to copy it there, and so on and so on. Then what if now you need to make the change on the menu? Maybe you want to add another menu heading, and then that means you're gonna have to go through each and every screen changing, that's not very convenient and efficient thing to do. So we're gonna use components. So components is just next to screen. Click components and then new component. I'll name it navigation. All right, and then first important thing that you need to do here, ensure you click navigation, and then where it says on your properties access app scope, change this, turn this on. It's very important, because if you don't turn it on, there's certain information from the app screens that you cannot access here. So let's change the width to app.width. Let's change the height to 60. All right, and then let's add a container, horizontal container. Let's change the X position to 0, Y position to 0. Let's change the height and width. We change width to parent dot width. We change height to parent dot height. Okay, and then the next thing we need to do, let's rename this container to, let's say cont navigation. All right, then let's go on our properties, ensure that the justify horizontal is set to spaces in between, and then we can start inserting text label. Then we're gonna change the font to 18 maybe. Hope this is gonna look good, 18. Then we change the font type to letter black, and we go to align in container. We're gonna choose stretch. Ensure that the flexible width is turned off. Leave the width to 150. Then let's change the text property to the name of the company. We're gonna say Sia Tech. Okay. Then we change the label LBL company name. Okay. This sometimes could be a logo, whatever you like. Now let's insert a gallery. we're gonna insert a blank horizontal gallery. We're gonna name it gal icons. This gallery is going to be for our icons on here on the right. So first thing that we need to change, remove the minimum height. All right, change flexible width, turn it off, then make the width 150. Okay, and then let's see, remove the scroller, the scroll bar, turn it off. Then what else you need to change? There should be no border. Okay, yeah. So let me just zoom this. So in here we are going to, okay, also let's change the template size. So there's a formula in here, we delete that formula. Then we're gonna say, let's say parent dot width. It's actually self dot width divide by self dot all item count. All right, and then also for the data source, you're gonna say my menu, actually my icons. All right, don't worry about this error. It's not actually an error because it's actually because I added this last. I changed the flexible height, but then I should have started with this, and then after that change the flexible, the template height, sorry. So okay, then the next thing that we're going to do, you click your gallery, insert an image. All right, let's change the position of our image to 0 for now. Then the Y, we'll change it to 0. Then the width and height, will make it 25. Okay, and then we're gonna change the image name, img icons. Okay, img icon. Okay, and then now we need to add our icon. To do that, you go to image, property, remove this. You're gonna type this as I'm going to type it. Say data image /svg plus xml, comma. This is an extension that you need before you can insert your image. Then you say end encode URL. Then inside you're going to say this item dot icon. Alright, now if you come back, your icons are here. So as you can see, the icons are a bit at the top. We need to bring them in the center. At least they should be in the center of our app. Okay, to do that, we are going to ensure that you click icon on the right, on the left side here. Click that icon, and then we're going to change the X value. We are going to say parent dot width. Actually let's say parent dot template width. Divide by 2 minus self dot width divide by 2. So now it's gonna say it's in the perfect center of this. Alright, and then we also change the, let me copy this formula and change the Y property. I'm gonna paste this and change template width to template height. Then here change width to height. This perfectly aligns it in the center. Let's click gallery icons again and then remove the padding to 0. Alright, that looks good to me. And then Let me see how it looks like. Yeah, almost there. Now let's add our menu items. Okay, let's just copy this gallery and paste it. We'll rename it to girl menus. Alright, I want to bring it in the middle of the screen. I will change the width to 400 of this gallery. I will, let's see, what else do I need to change? Okay, nothing. Then I will change the data source to my menu. Remember this my menu, it's the one that we defined here on app screen. Remember, everything that I'm entering there, it's coming from here. My menu, my icons. So let's go back. We set my menu and then expand this, delete the image, we don't need it anymore. We're gonna add a button. So to do that, just click this pen icon, insert, add button. Right, change the X position to 0, X value to 0, and Y value to 0 as well. Width to parent dot template width. Then height to parent dot template height. Okay, we're gonna change the font size to, let's put 13. Then font type to letter, leave it as semi bold. Then let's remove the background to transparent. Remove the font as well, to change the font to this gray color. Right, looks good. Okay, let's see again how it looks like now. All right, almost there. Now let's, under this button, let me say btn menu. We're gonna go to the text property, change it to this item dot title. See, now it changes, shows the home product sale and contact. Okay, so now let's go back and see here. You see here there's some space here before that, and then there's also some space here. So let's go back, add that. So on our, we're gonna go to our container navigation. We will add the right padding and the left padding. For left padding I'll put 70, and the right I'll put 70 as well. There you go. So also maybe I don't know, let me change these icons to a gray color. I'll click that image, I'll go to the image property, then I will remove this item.icon. I will use substitute function. Then I'm substituting from this item.icon, comma, I'm substituting current color. I'm substituting it with gray. Okay, it looks good to me. Now it looks grayish. Okay, this is done. Let's go back to my screen. Okay, so far here we've added just the top header. So another important thing, we need to unwrap this header into a container to make it responsive. Let's click insert container. We're gonna insert a vertical container. Copy this, cut it and paste it inside the container. Rename the container to maybe root container. Alright, change the X position to 0, the Y position to 0 as well, the width to parent.width, then the height will make it, okay, let me see, height actually it should be bound by the container. We are going to say, let's see, okay, align horizontal. Let's make this stretch. Okay, yeah, I think we need to change the height of the container. It should be across the screen. The whole should cover the whole screen because it's like the base container. So the height is going to be parent dot height. Yeah, that's good. Then next thing, now let's insert our navigation. That's our component that we created. We're going to go insert, go to custom, click navigation. As you can see, automatically it perfectly aligns it at the top because we have a container. Let's run it. This is how it looks so far. So far so good. I can also remove, there's a small line, a thin line under here. We can remove that. Let me go back to component, navigation. We click this container, remove the drop shadow. Let's make it none. Also remove the radius to 0. There should be no border as well. Okay, let's go back. Then if you run, it's gone. Let's continue. Now the next thing, we want to add this main content now. Okay, to add that, we are going to go to our root container, and then we're going to say insert image. This is going to be for that headphones. We insert the image, then we also insert a container, a vertical container. So a vertical container is for this. Then the image is for these earphones. All right, but now we need to make this a horizontal container. All right. Right here, I chose a vertical container. A vertical container means the information, your content is gonna be displayed in a horizontal way. Né? So let's change this from vertical to horizontal. Oh, sorry, I'm changing the wrong thing. That's the main container. Now let's put it back to vertical. Okay, sorry, let me just undo again, and then now I've made a mistake here. So this is back to vertical. Okay, then this text is the one covering my space here. This height, we need to change it to 30. Okay, just toggle this flexible height. There you go, and close it again. There you go. Then now we need to change the, okay, this looks fine. Then we have our navigation. We need to enable this flexible height and turn it off. Then it goes back. Yeah. And then we have this container that we added here. Let me just delete it. I'll do it again. Let me also delete the image. All right, let me do this again. So I will, inside my root container, I will say insert. It's good that we're seeing these things because they happen. So it's good that you're seeing how I'm resolving these issues. So we are going to add a horizontal container. Okay, no, sorry. Yeah, horizontal container. Then we're going to rename it to cont main. So it's our main container for our main content. Then inside here, inside this container, we're going to add image. And then we're going to add now a vertical container. All right, the image, we're going to say img, we rename it img product. Then we go to the height property and the width property of this image. We're going to change the flexible width to on. We remove minimum width to 0. Then align in container, we change it to stretch. Then we want this image to be on the right side. We're gonna click reorder and move to end. There you go. Then we're gonna go to this image property. Alright, before we change it, there's also, if you go to the right side of your App Studio, click these buttons here and click media. You can add an image here. I've already added a headphones image. To add it, you just click add and then click upload. Then it will take you to your desktop. Then you can find your image and upload it. Alright, that's just how you do it. And then let's go back. Then here, image property, we change it to headphones. Just type headphones. There you go, it appears here. And then next thing that we need to do now, we need to add these: listen beyond, experience music like never before, and shop now. Let's go back, and then container 4, we'll click this container. Alright, we are going to say justify vertical, put it in the center. Yeah. Also, important thing is we remove these shadows. Drop shadow, we remove it, make it none. Then border, we make it none. And then the radius, we just remove it, make it 0. Okay, and then we start adding our controls. We insert a label, and we also insert another one, and a button. Okay, so for our first label, we'll say listen beyond just sound. Just sound. Okay, and then font to little black, size to something like 50. Okay, you see it's squashed in here. Let's enable auto height, and then let's stretch it as well. Aligning container, stretch. There you go. And then the text below, it says experience music like never before. Let me put a dot at the end here, a full stop. Okay, then the next container, experience music like never before. We do the same thing. We need to stretch it, aligning container, stretch, and then the font size to something like 15 maybe, then the font color to gray, and what else? Okay, I think that's fine. And then also our button, we change the background color of the button to this color, this light blue. Okay, now this one below. Then we change the font color to white. Then text property, we change to shop now. Then we change the font type to little. We leave it as semi-bold. Font size, we make it 13. Then let's increase the height of our button, which is here. Let's make it 60. Looks good to me. And then also the radius of the button, let's change it from 10 to 6. Okay, let me run my app now. So far we are close. Let's see what's short, what's missing. Now we need to add, let me remove what I've done. Okay. Okay, there's some round edges on our image, so I think that's what we need to add now. Okay, let's go to our roots container, and then go to our container main. In here we're gonna put firstly a padding on the right of 70, then padding right and left 70, and then we look for radius to 20. Okay, no, actually we shouldn't put the radius over here. Let's make this 0. Okay, let's actually go inside this one. We can put a radius here. Okay, we don't have to here. Actually, the radius is only on the image. We can just go straight to the image. There's my image over here. And then first thing I want to do, image position, I'll make it to fill. And then I go down and change the radius to, let's say 20. Okay. Oh, another thing, let's put the padding also at the bottom. Let's go back to our roots container. No, actually this container main, and add the bottom padding to 20, maybe 20 or 70. Let's see, 70 is too much. Let's put 20. Yeah, that's fine. Now let's run our app. There you go. It's close enough now. It's close enough to our original. Let's remove this line. It's back. To remove that line, all our containers, we ensure that we remove the drop shadow. Drop shadow. Yeah, let's make this none. Then also this one, let's make it none. This one as well, it's none. Then if you run again, those lines are gone now. So okay, I also want to change the border of the button. I don't like it. There's a light blue block border. And then also I'll change listen beyond. I want this to go down below. Okay, let's click this. And also I think the font, let's change it to open sans, then make it bold. There you go. And then for button, let's remove the border. Let's put 0. Now our app is final. This is good enough. I like it. So maybe we could also add the spacing in between these just to make it look more good. And then also the hover color we can change, and these hover colors on our menu we can change. We could also change this button to something when you click it takes you back to home page. And then also we can make this responsive. When you hover over here, it should show that you're actually hovering on something that you can select. So let's go back and fix that. So I know I'm now making this video long, but if you're happy with what you see now, you can just end it right here. But if you want to continue and see more what we're going to add, you can stay tuned then. Okay, I said I want to add some spacing in between here, so I'm going to click this container, and there's something called gap. I will say maybe 10 or 20. Yeah, it looks fine. Yeah, it's up to you, whichever way you like it. Then 20 almost looks fine to me. Maybe let me make it like 16 or something, or maybe 13. Okay, yeah, looks fine to me. And then I said I want to change this hover. When you click here, it's hovering. Let me see this, and also this top here. So to do that, we click this shop now, and then we go to advanced properties. We're gonna look for fill. Just search fill, and then we go to hover fill. We say hover fill, change this, remove this color, and say self dot fill. All right, And then also we need to change the pressed color. So pressed border color, we don't want that. Color dot transparent. Sorry, it's color dot transparent. Then pressed color, we want it to be self. We don't want the color to change. Self dot color. Then the pressed fill, we want to say let's add a color fade. We say self dot fill, comma, we'll say 30% fill. So now if we run it, see, now that looks nice to me. If you press, it just lights us up. That's it. So you could also add the code behind this button. Then if you want, if you had more screens, then you could also go to the on select of this button and then navigate to whichever screen that you want. Maybe let's say we have a product screen, then we add the screen transition, screen transition dot fade. I like fade. Let me just add that screen. This is just for demonstration purposes. I'm gonna rename it to product. Okay, then maybe add a label inside just to indicate it what screen we're in. Okay, I'm gonna increase this to 40. Then I change this, I say screen dot name. Sorry, I'm gonna say product. It's actually app dot active screen dot name. So we're in the product screen. So if I go and run this, then click shop now, it takes me to the product screen. Good. So now the next thing we want to change, it's these hover colors over here. We don't want that. We want that to change like how it changes here. Okay, let's go back and then to our component, click button, and then go back to fill again, then hover fill color, we'll say self dot fill, self dot actually we don't want the hover here. Let's say color dot transparent, and then the pressed color we say self dot color. Then what else do we need to change? Let me go and run it. So now if you hover, okay, it changes. We need to change the hover color. Let's go back to component. Where is hover color? Okay, hover color, there you go. Okay, then now let's hover border color. We want hover color. We're gonna say color fade. Then inside we'll say self dot color, comma 30%. Right, let's run again. So now it changes to, it becomes lighter when you, maybe let's make it darker instead here. To make it darker, you say instead of 30%, you say negative 30%, or you could actually increase it to like 60%. All right, let's run it again. So now if you hover, it becomes dark. I think I like this one. Let's add something else. Go back to components. Here you can actually say transition, make it pop. Then also for the icons, transition, make it pop as well. Then if you run it, there you go. Looks nice now. There you go. So thank you so much for tuning in. So in the future video, I will just show you how to make this responsive in such a way that it can fit in a phone layout and also on tablet layout, basically any layout that you can think of. Even if you wanted to display this app on a fridge screen, maybe you have a smart screen, you can display it there. It's going to take the layout of that screen. So right now it's only just going to take any type of tablet or desktop layout. If we click here, it's going to respond to it. On here, over here, all the screen is going to respond, and also the normal screen. So thank you so much for your time. Hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.